Welcome to Wayzata High School. Late season matchup in girls basketball tonight. A non-conference game for the Trojans as they play host to the Moorhead Spuds. I am Jay Wilcox along with Ryan Iverson. And Ryan, for this Wayzata team, they've had a great run these last few years in particular. This year, a few more losses than they're accustomed to. They've played a lot of really good teams, but Mike Schumacher, their coach, said that we think we are getting better. We've learned some things from these games, and I think they're still a very dangerous team, even with that 8-6 record.
Yeah, no one's going to want to see them come postseason play. And to your point, Jay, I mean, they're 6 losses. St. Michael, Albertville, Hopkins twice, Minnetonka, Chaska, and Eden Prairie. So some of the best teams in the state. And you also got to remember, too, that Jenna Johnson, their highest scorer, was coming off of a knee injury, right? So it's taken her a little bit of time to get back into that rhythm. So I think they're playing better. They just came off of a nice win last night against Robbinsdale Cooper. And so I think they're starting to peak as they get to the end stage here of the season.
For Moorhead, it's been an interesting year as Tom Dryberg's coming in his first year as their head coach. He moved over from North Dakota State College of Science. And a difficult year to be in your first year in this COVID season. He said we just, didn't get much of a summer to work with them, haven't had all that many practices. He said, some nights we looked pretty decent, other times we struggled. And then, some of the common opponents, they have had difficulty against some of the teams from around here. The St. Michael blew them out, Buffalo beat them, Park Center beat them. But they know they're the underdog coming in, but if they do the things that, that they need to do, they at least think they can maybe stay in this one.
Well, first things first, kudos to them for making these trips to the cities, right? That's a long drive, and they're not backing down from playing good competition. But, Jay, I think when you're a new coach, you're trying to establish your culture and your way of how do we do things. And without having a real preseason and that camaraderie, right, you're kind of building on the fly. And they've played a tough schedule, and again, they've shown glimpses of being a really good basketball team. He needs to start having some baby girls so they can start growing up because he's got great height in that Moorhead program. But I've heard nothing but great things about Coach, and he's certainly doing a nice job here in his first year.
Let's take a look at key players in this evening's contest, starting with the visiting Spuds. And Samantha Zimmerman is a senior in their program, somebody who's kind of had to do a little bit of everything for them this year.
Well, and you see her stat line, just under 14 points, almost 5 rebounds. She's also the team leader in steals and assists, so she kind of does everything. And I think more out of necessity this year, having to handle the basketball more, playing more of a point guard role. And so she's gotten more comfortable in that role as the season's gone on. And teams, I think, recognize that she's their best player. She's going to use a lot of energy getting that ball up the court, and I think you're going to see teams pressing a lot and trying to pick that pace up, forcing the ball in the hands of someone else on the Spuds roster. And Jay, by the way, when I hear Spuds, doesn't it make you want to eat mashed potatoes every time I hear that? So thank you.
And for Wayzata, they've got a couple of high-level D1 players that are veterans, and one of those being Utah recruit Jenna Johnson.
Yeah, and we talked about it in the opening, just under 20 points, and we saw her once earlier in the year, and I didn't think her timing was off of a little bit. It seemed like her confidence maybe wasn't what I remembered it, but she's gotten it back. You see that monster game she had against Edina. You don't score 39 points on accident. You got to be talented. You got to be feeling good and start trusting that knee again. I think she's starting to get there, and this is why Wayzata is dangerous with Mara Braun and Jenna Johnson. Those two are two of the best players in the state. If they play well, they can compete and play with anybody in the state.
It's been a busy week for the Trojans here as they've had some games stacking up late in the season here, but they want to come out and show well on their home court. Moorhead thinking maybe if we make this long trip, let's make it a good one. Let's really compete hard and see what we can do against a really good Lake Conference team. It's the Spuds and the Trojans, and it comes your way next here on CCX.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
And we are underway here. It tipped off a little bit early on us here. A couple buckets for Wayzata. Shannon Fornshell and then Jenna Johnson. And here's a third bucket as Jenna Johnson scores again. So it's 6-0 Trojans here as we join the action as you look at the starters for both of these teams here this evening.
Well, you can see early, Jay, that it's Wayzata's priority. Go inside to Jenna, and she's got a couple of nice, easy baskets, including a really nice backwards reverse layup.
Get a hold call there as Grace Perry put it on the floor and was getting the hands in a little too much. There was Fornshell.
What you're seeing too early on here is the Trojans really pressuring the ball. You can tell that was a key tonight. They want to ball pressure and try to force some turnover, see if they can get out and run, get some transition baskets.
Rosie Anderson. And might be a moving screen there, I believe. Yes, it is going to be against Bryn Jacobson, the freshman for Moorhead. She just didn't get herself squared up that much and tried to kind of slide along with the defender. Bryn send it into the front court for the Trojans here as they try to build on this early lead. Moorhead will play primarily man-to-man defense according to Coach Dryberg, but might throw in a little 2-3 zone here and there. Around the horn it comes, and there's Mara Braun knocking down a three.
Well, and that's one part of her game, Jay. She's really improved on over the years. You know, from last year, she was a 32% three-point shooter. This year, shooting over 41%. So really added some range as well, and very consistent at the three-point shot.
Zimmerman went to the hoop but couldn't get it to go. Here's Braun back the other way for the layup, and going to take an early timeout here from Moorhead as they have been blitzed early here by the Trojans, 11-0 early on.
Yeah, great ball moving. You see that. I love when ball doesn't touch the floor. Just great passing and nothing but the bottom of the net.
Zimmerman trying to attack here, but left it short as the defense got it, and then Wayzata out and running, and Braun getting out ahead of the field.
Well, and that's where, too, when you're a guard and you play with, you know, Jenna Johnson, who's got great height, a great rebounder. I remember playing AAU with Joel Prisbilla at 7'1". Anytime a shot would go up, I would start leaking out, because when you trust someone to get that rebound and they have that great outlet ability, you know you're going to get some easy baskets. And he couldn't have drawn it up any better for Coach Schumacher. 11-0 here, just a couple minutes into the game.
Asked Mike, you know, how did his players react to taking a few more losses than what they've been used to in these last couple of years? And he said the attitude's really been great. I didn't see anybody, you know, hanging their head, or they just said we understood we needed to get better. And for Coach Dryberg too, he said, you know, the girls have been great, getting used to me and everything. You really got the feeling that not having that off season for a new coach was a tough thing.
Yep.
You know, he wasn't making excuses, just stating reality.
Yep.
And there's a steal by Johnson. Johnson will go all the way herself for two more, and Moorhead obviously turning the ball over at a higher clip than is what's going to be sustainable if they want to stay in the game. And drawing contact there on the drive was Kate Gulbranson.
I like what Kate did there. She attacked the basket. I think with Moorhead, knowing that Wayzata's going to pressure the ball, if you can make that initial move, get a quick half a step on and take it to the basket, force referees to make that kind of a call. And you slow the game down, you stop the run, you get to the free throw line, and it does a wonder for your team, especially offensively.
It's only the second foul on Wayzata, but they both were on Shannon Fornshell, so subbing in for her right away is Ellie Wildermuth, number 35. Coming in for the Spuds is Alexa Gronwald, number 4. So the first point going up for Gulbranson. And one more coming. She'll make a pair, so Moorhead on the board anyway, but down 13-2 in the early going.
Yeah, it looks like, too, they're switching to a zone defense, too. I like that. You know, when you're playing a team that's as talented as Wayzata, if you can switch your defenses up, try to get them maybe out of the rhythm that they clearly are in here early in the game.
A little inside-outside, but that time the shot won't fall.
Oh, nice look.
Spuds push it back the other way. The hoop and one as Rosie Anderson, their post player, getting up the floor in a hurry, scores it, and will go to the line for a three-point play chance. Nice look inside, too.
Yeah, great throw ahead, and that's just a big running and getting great position. And a nice pass, too, under the basket. Nice job by Moorhead, keeping their heads up. And a nice little 5-point run here, at least to kind of get that score back to being respectable.
Foul was on Anna Koth, so a 3-point play there for Anderson, and it's now 13-5 as they get their first field goal. Here's Johnson, missing that one from the outside.
Well, and I'll tell you that the Spuds zone has forced a couple of quick threes, too, for Wayzata, and I think that's what they were intending to do.
Yeah, and sometimes even if it's, it's going to be a travel call there. Dragging your pivot foot was Gronwald. Sometimes even if it's not really a different shot than against man-to-man, it just seems different when there's defenders kind of all in your line of sight.
Well, and I'll tell you what zone does, Jay, is it just makes you as an offense feel like you can't drive. and that's the intention, is to keep that ball around the perimeter. We saw Jenna Johnson get a couple of quick baskets down low. There's a nice pass down low, good shot. And that's what Jenna is really so effective at, is getting those offensive rebounds.
Fourth bucket already for her after Wildermuth Smith. Johnson nearly had the steal knocked out. And I've said this many times over the years, Ryan, I don't understand why more people don't play zone. I think it's a lot harder to play against. And, it's almost like a pride thing, like you're...
We're only man-to-man.
Yeah,
it's
admitting weakness or something if you play zone.
Especially when you're playing teams like a Wayzata or a Hopkins that are perennially just so talented. They're going to find the mismatch. Sometimes that zone can keep a team that maybe doesn't have any business winning a game into a game.
Braun with the block there. Stayed with it on the left-hand shot. It's a tie-up. It'll be Moorhead basketball.
Well, nice move by Zimmerman there. Great left hand, extended it too. But one of the things about Mara that people don't realize is just how long she is. 5'11", but she's got those really long arms. She can cover a lot of ground, even if she's getting beat by a half a step. And there's filling that passing lane, anticipating.
Braun goes all the way, so Braun has 3 buckets, Johnson has 4 already, and it's 17-5 Trojans. Zimmerman dragged the pivot foot as Johnson came over to help Braun there. And
yeah, just great anticipation. And I'll tell you, great players, you can get 2 to 4 of those a game. There's your 8 points. And you add that into her skill set already, and you can see how she's averaging almost 20 points per game.
Johnson catching that one in traffic.
Yeah, great ball movement.
Open look and knocked down here from that left side.
Isn't it funny how it almost seems like anytime you see an offense make beautiful passes and maybe that one extra pass, that shot seems to always go in. Oh, friendly roll.
That's a good nature checked in there, getting the hoop for Wayzata, so getting everybody involved here. And the Trojans have, I wouldn't say done no wrong, but obviously clicking pretty good early on here. Zimmerman thought about it. Now we'll put it on the floor, and was fouled by Jenna Johnson.
And you can kind of just see that her all-around game. She's done a nice job handling the ball, attacking. There's a good look ahead and good nature. Gets a good-natured, friendly roll there on that one to fall. And I think that's going to be the key for Wayzata as they head into the playoffs, Jay, is you're going to get Jenna down low. You know what you're going to get from Mara Braun. Can you get some of those role players to come in and knock down those open threes? Those two generate so much offense that you're going to get open looks, and you got to be able to knock them down.
Zimmerman getting her first point. She's drawn a lot of defensive attention early on here and forced into a turnover and had a shot blocked, but this time able to get free throws out of it, and it's 23-7.
Well, and she's done a nice job of getting to the rim. She's had a couple blocked and travel, but she's done a nice job of trying to create for her team.
Bryn Senden to the front court here for the Trojans. Looks like Moorhead sticking with that zone here. Pass was tipped and stolen there. Anna Nelson, who's just come in number 12 for the Spuds. Jacobson giving it back out. Zimmerman looking to attack.
Oh, good luck, good try.
And we'll get a foul on Moorhead after the steal, as reaching in there was Anna Nelson. after Koth jumped in and stole that pass. Kind of looked like that time Zimmerman really could have went up with that one, as she had a little bit smaller defender on her and got pretty darn close to the hoop.
Yeah, she got about 5 feet away. If she would have spun, maybe it would have had a little turnaround jumper. She's got that good length. But on the other side, nice job by Koth there, covering up. Great help defense to get that steal. Oh, good luck. Nice cut.
Senden will kick it back out as they keep it moving. Fornshell's back in there with those 2 early fouls.
Oh, great offense, pretty good defense too by the Spuds, closing down. Looked like Wayzata might have had a couple open looks, but great job recovering.
Yeah, they've actually managed, which sounds weird when they've already scored 23, but they've managed to slow them down a little bit here in these last few possessions. And there's a 3 for Senden.
She's a great shooter. She got some confidence at the end of last year coming in. And again, Wayzata can shoot like that from the perimeter. They become extremely hard to guard.
And we'll get a travel as Jacobson picked up the dribble out top. And you can see that they're feeling rushed a little bit as you get another look at that 3 by Senden, her second.
Well, and that was after about 15 passes, too. So Wayzata, nice job of being patient, moving that defense, and eventually leading to a wide-open 3 that Senden knocks down. And that's why Wayzata's ball pressure in Moorhead, right, to create them to speed up a little bit, kind of rush some of their decisions. So far, it's working. Oh, great effort.
Dribbled into traffic there. Tie-up will stay with Wayzata, but Moorhead scrapping to at least force that tie-up and be a baseline inbounds play here for the Trojans. And Senden was called for the walk after that pass fake.
Well, she had the right idea. I think ball fakes against the zone, they work so well because you can get the whole defense to shift, but I think might have just moved that pivot foot before she put the ball on the ground. You can see Wayzata, I mean, they're really making Zimmerman work.
And Senden comes in and takes it. Layup is good. I think Zimmerman thought she was still going to be able to recover that ball, and Senden really surprised her by not only first tipping it away, but then coming after it so hard.
Well, just great effort by Senden there. Yeah, and you're right. I think Zimmerman kind of slowed down, and that's where Moorhead, I think, needs to add a ball screen or something just to help alleviate some of that ball pressure.
You know, and looking at that again, I think Zimmerman was worried about an over and back, that if she picked it up too soon, that she was going to be still in the front court and then go into the back. And obviously, as it turned out, it wasn't, you know, the greatest idea to lay off it and stay back. That pass tipped and stolen by Braun. Braun spinning. What if that one had gone in?
Well, the way the game's gone offensively so far, it wouldn't have been a surprise. But getting those long arms, playing the passing lane, she gets so many of those deflections.
Zimmerman called for the foul. She cut across in front of her. And that's the thing. I mean, if you're Moorhead, you can't really simulate that in practice to have somebody as quick and long as that. You know, so the passes that you're used to being successful with just aren't working against somebody like her.
And it's the same thing too when teams play against Hopkins, right? You got to prepare for the pressure. Well, you don't have Hopkins personnel necessarily to simulate that. You know, you're playing against Patrick Mahomes. How do you prepare to go against Patrick Mahomes? You just can't do it. And I think Mara, as she gets older, becomes a senior next year, goes, playing at the University of Minnesota, I think defensively that's going to be her calling card because she's so long and quick and she's smart out there too.
Baseline drive here and then thrown into the foot of Perry, and that one's turned over. Open look and knocked down there for Grace Weber. So Wayzata's bench has come in and been successful as well. So the Trojans, it looks like this one must have been a 2. See if she got a foot on the line.
It's pretty close there.
Yeah, it looks like just a 2 though.
Well, good push and transition, keeping that head up. You draw the defense in, you find an open shooter in Weber. And isn't it funny how shooting's contagious, right? A couple threes go in, all of a sudden a couple players come off the bench, they knock them down, and it's a good feeling as a team when you're shooting the ball well like that. Yeah, it looks like her foot might have been on that line. Look at our great camera. Look at the catch on that. Foot definitely on the line.
Yeah, see, in my own head, I thought it was a 3, but then you didn't see the arm ever go up. So the official that was on that side was saying no right away. But I think if you're Wayzata, you're not that upset when it's 31-7, right?
No, and in a game like this for Wayzata is great because it allows you maybe to work on some things. We talked about the lack of practice time during this year, right? They played a game last night. Haven't practiced a ton lately. You can really work on subtle things. Maybe it's help defense, it's rotations, it's transition offense, whatever the case might be. You can kind of focus some of your attention to detail on those little things.
Jacobson being hounded out high here. A little pick and roll game, but Wayzata recovered, and the pass thrown right to Braun. Braun looking left with it, and that time a little short from Weber. And the Spuds will be able to track it down as Bryn Jacobson gets to it. Jacobson a drive and dish for an open look, but it won't fall. And this time we get an over the back against Moorhead, and that'll be on Haley Oberg, number 42, the sophomore who's checked in for them.
Well, nice job by Shannon Fornchell there boxing out. And even though they missed that, the Spuds, that was great offense. They got dribble drive penetration into the heart. Nice drive and kick. Shot just didn't fall.
That's the one thing you kind of can maybe overlook with Wayzata too, is overall they have pretty good size. I mean, they not necessarily have any giant post player, but they've got some length across the board a little bit.
Yep, and length, not necessarily, I mean, height, they're all 5'11". Jenna Johnson, of course, has got some good height at 6'2", but they're long.
Johnson turns and buries that one. She has 5 buckets, 10 points already. 33-7, Wayzata blowing this one open, and Moorhead will turn it over right here.
So I was going to wait to bring this nugget up, Jay, but being the scoring rate that Jenna is on right now, came into the game with 1,410 career points. The school record's 1,489 by Marissa Grossfield of class of 2012. So Jenna eventually is going to get there. She's closing in on that. And the thing is, her record that she might get this year may be eclipsed next year by that young lady, the way she's shooting and scoring the ball.
And Marissa Grossfeld on that team when Mike Schumacher just took over as interim head coach.
They made that run.
They
right?
knocked off Hopkins, then they knocked off Minneapolis South when South was really good too. And Grossfeld was a key part of that, a lefty, crafty scorer.
I remember her. That was when the legend of Coach Schumacher really started to grow after that year, and he's done a phenomenal job here. And I can't believe he's in his 12th year already. Time just flies, but he's done a heck of a job building a good program.
Off the inbound, and the 3 popped home there for Perry.
Yeah, nice look. And I like how Moorhead's just not getting flustered that they're down early, that they've turned the ball over, just continuing to play and play hard. Get a good looking shot there and knocked down by Perry.
Weber missing. Putback is good there for the Trojans by Jessica Oberlander.
Well, you talked about their length. There's another 6'1" sophomore off the bench, but great length.
Another turnover. Layup, this time missed, but there's Oberlander for another putback.
Get her some Windex, Jay, because she's cleaning the glass here. 2 offensive rebounds, 2 buckets.
Good example there why you don't always assume your teammate's going to make a layup. Just keep coming. Inside move and hoop by Rosie Anderson.
She's averaging just under 9 rebounds. Very good rebounder and capable scorer, too, at just under 8 points. And that was a nice shot fake. Took her time, didn't rush it, able to finish.
Dumped down low to Johnson. She was fouled. I don't think this will count. She was bumped before she went up into her shooting motion there.
Yeah, it's such an underrated part of her game is her footwork. You know, I remember when last year when they had Annika Stewart playing with them, they ran that high-low so well. Jenna does such a nice job of sealing, and then she's got that up and under. She can use both hands.
Johnson inbounding here. Oberlander got some pressure, and it's tipped out of bounds.
And I like Moorhead there giving it back, right? Ball pressuring it right back to Wayzata.
And over the back there was Zimmerman trying to tip that one away from Johnson.
Second personal.
Well, that's a big foul. That's the second on Zimmerman, and she's going to take a seat here. Remember, she kind of does everything for that Spuds team, so they've had struggling, you know, trying to not turn the ball over. There's a nice out-of-bounds play, another layup for Johnson. But now that she's out of the game, you're trusting the ball in some other players' hands. So
Johnson will be called for the foul as a good hard post up by Anderson.
Oh, that's going to be the 7th, too. So Moorhead going to be in the bonus here the rest of the way. They got to continue to be aggressive on offense and force those referees to make that call. Maybe you can get back some points here at the free throw line. You slow the game down a little bit as well.
Anderson's free throw no good. Oberlander has to save it in, but gets it to Braun. Baseline look won't go. There's Oberlander again, and she was fouled as Anderson got into her body there, and Oberlander, boy, the ball's finding her, isn't it?
Well, she's in the right spot. Again, she's got that great length. Only a sophomore, too. Getting some valuable experience and certainly making the most of it, too.
Misfires on the free throw. Second one is good, so she has 5 now. And a 43-12 lead here for Wayzata. Blown this one open in the first half.
Well, I think, too, there's a nice looking 3, just a little bit long. You know, Jenna Johnson, of course, with a big game, already in double figures. Mara Braun having a big game scoring, but also getting great balance scoring, too, from the rest of the team. People off the bench hitting threes. Sendin hitting a couple, so it's been really good balance.
Sendin will be called for the hand check.
Trojans number 25.
Calling him pretty tight tonight here, right? I mean, I don't know. Not sure I saw much of a foul there, but Jacobson's free throw not there, and tipped around comes to Braun.
And Moorhead's got to take advantage of those, right? Working hard, getting fouled. Get those one-on-ones, you got to knock them down, especially on the road, especially against a really good team.
Anderson called for that foul as she tried to go for the steal. And that'll be her second.
And the 2 leading scorers for the Spuds, already with 2 fouls, both of them sitting on the bench.
Oberlander back to the free throw line. She was 1 for 2 there a moment ago. And missed that one, but there's Johnson eating up that rebound and getting the putback.
Well, she got great position, but you see that long arm, that right arm going almost all the way across the lane, able to snatch that rebound and go right back up.
And there's a pass out to the top that's taken away. And Braun will get another layup.
Again, just anticipating, reading that pass, and then able to close the ground and tap it out, get an easy layup.
That pass too high, and guess who? Mara Braun will pick it up again. Layup good again. If
you're thinking that we're just rewinding this, we're not. Those are About 4 or 5 easy breakaway layups.
Oberlander coming over to make a great block that time. Senden keeps it moving. That'll be a travel.
You like that call, Jay?
No, and I got to bite my tongue because I've done a lot of games this year where they apparently that's been more of an emphasis this year, and I just didn't see a travel.
I agree.
Just because you shot fake doesn't mean it's a travel. Perry thought about it from the corner, instead will drive it and puts it in.
She's had some nice looking moves. Great shot fake, and that's not an easy angle to get that floater in, and she was able to knock it down.
Too strong with that one, and out of bounds was Johnson as she tried to save it. Down to the baseline, and Oberlander got a piece of that pass as Gronwald tried to pass it out of there.
Yeah, nice play too. Went back door, but good help by the Trojans and able to get a hand on that.
Ball lost there as Good Nature comes up with it. Good Nature dumping it inside. Oberlander will kick it back out of there. Nice job of keeping that ball moving, but then a good steal. As Perry jumped in, and then it's stolen back the other way here by Koth.
Oh, nice bounce pass.
And the layup is good by Senden.
Oh, really unselfish by Koth that time. Got the steal, could have taken it in. Said nice left-handed bounce pass. Senden with the layup.
And that pass. Get a tie up here.
Jump ball, possession of Moorhead. Wilkinson in motion back in front. Williams back in for Wayzata.
Shot comes up short on the drive, and then it's knocked out of Johnson's hands, and it will be Wayzata basketball.
Well, you mentioned Wayzata's length, and you're seeing it. It's really bothering the Spuds. Every time they get kind of close to that basket, even though the shot might not get blocked, you can tell that that length of Wayzata is bothering them on their finishes. Nice pass.
Here's Johnson for two more inside.
She earned it. She was working hard trying to seal that, getting good position.
And there's Johnson for the block.
But that play really is just a tough pass. You want to put arc on it, right? You got to get it over that defender, but not too far. And there's Jen on the defensive end too with a big block.
Johnson gets her leg on that one. Oberlander will come back in. Johnson will sit. Dribble handoff there as Galbranson looks to drive, and a foul will send her to the free throw line. Oberlander will pick it up.
Galbranson done a nice job. Hasn't missed tonight at the free throw line. Shot looks good.
And now 4 for 4 at the stripe for her, and the Spuds, though, facing a big deficit, to say the least, 54-16. And Sendon is left open as they lost track of her and had a pretty easy path to the hoop.
Yeah, great action on that play. It's kind of a fade screen. Defense goes over the top. She just keeps going, able to get an easy layup.
Oberlander posting up. Pretty good D that time, so she'll kick it back out.
I like the patience that Wayzata is playing with. I think when you're playing a game where you know you're going to win, and you can get a lot of things maybe easier than normal, but you're not rushing it. They're being really patient, moving the ball well, and not settling for okay shots or bad shots. They're getting great shots every time down the floor.
Koth will head to the free throw line. As just over a minute to go now in this first half. No good on the free throw.
Nice box out. Nice move. Great,
wow,
yeah.
Great drive there by Jacobson.
I was about to say maybe too much dribbling, but she played at a great pace, kept spinning, and found her way to the basket. Great move, great finish.
Dumped down inside. That pass tipped away, though, and ultimately up with the steal, Anna Nelson for Moorhead. That shot won't go. And Oberlander up with the rebound. Strong drive and finish by Koth. And she'll get a chance for a three-point play as she's able to finish that one nicely. Nelson will get the foul. There you see, kind of got her on her hip a little bit. And so Koth back to the free throw line here and missed it. Oberlander had her hands on it, but Spuds then come up with it. Under 10 seconds to go. And it is off Perry's foot and out of bounds with 6 to go. And Wayzata one more chance. Wow, this has got to be close to as many points as they've scored in a half, not only this year, but ever at 58. Here's Sendon on the run, pitching it to the left side, and won't crawl in. But a very, very dominant first half here for the Trojans, as they will set our halftime score over Moorhead. We'll be back with more of our coverage here on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
And welcome back here to Wayzata. A dominant first half for the Trojans here as they lead Moorhead 58-18. We check out some opening half highlights here, and it was kind of right from the get-go. Wayzata started to get after it. Here's the opening tip, and they get an easy layup for Fornshell. Before we were even fully up, they started the game early. They got 2 quick layups there. Those are the 2 that we didn't see right on. And then down low to Jenna Johnson as she was a dominant force inside and at the edge of the lane for the Trojans. Mara Braun obviously can shoot the ball and also had, probably a half dozen steals at least in that first half as well. Moorhead, it took a little while to get them going. There was a point when they started to kind of feel in the game a little bit more, but then even later in the half, it was just a struggle. Nice move there for Anderson.
Yeah, it was good to see them have some success there and find their flow, and this was basically on repeat during that first half. Just Mara Braun just playing the passing lanes, getting deflections, getting easy layups.
And there was kind of a situation, as you saw the nice drive by Perry, too, where you can tell your players, too, if you're Coach Dryberg, that, those are the kind of plays. Obviously, we're not going to play Mara Braun every game, but just the idea that you don't want to throw the ball back up to the top of the key in a spot like that, those are kind of teaching points. You see the scoring in that first half, 5 each for Perry and Anderson to lead the Spuds. Johnson with 16, Braun with 15, and 12 for Bryn Senden for Wayzata. We will take a timeout and come back with more here as the Trojans looking to roll to their 9th win of the season. They are dominating Moorhead here at halftime.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.
Welcome back to Wayzata. Let's go over to Ryan with Coach Dryberg.
Hey, Coach, thanks for joining me here. What did you say to the girls there at halftime?
I just thought Wayzata doesn't need us to give them the ball to be a good basketball team. We gotta handle the basketball a little bit better. We gotta handle the pressure and not throw it away so much. Give ourselves a little bit better opportunity to score on the offensive end.
Yeah, and I thought when you did handle the ball and didn't turn it over, you got some good looks, knocked down some shots, able to get to the bonus. What do you do to build on that in the second half?
Yeah, I think that's where it starts at. You got to have better offensive possessions, which will hopefully help our transition defense and kind of balance everything out a little bit better.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Good luck here in the second half, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Jay.
Thanks, Ryan, and thanks to Coach Dryberg and handling that well. Obviously, you don't particularly love coming on the road and being down by 40 at halftime, but he knows they've got a team that looking to build, and they knew it was probably going to be a tall order coming in to play the Trojans here tonight, and it's proven to be the case. But yeah, I think fair to say that the turnovers were their biggest downfall in that first half, because it led to so many easy hoops for Wayzata too. It isn't just the fact that you don't get an opportunity at your end; it's that it oftentimes led directly to a layup, and that can be a little bit demoralizing too. And obviously, it's easier said than done. They were, I'm sure, a little bit caught off guard by just how athletic Mara Braun and her teammates are out there on the perimeter, jumping in the passing lanes, and it's easier said than done. I mean, I think all the Spuds players know too that they needed to be a little bit better with the ball, but sometimes you're just playing a really good opponent. But just some of the little things that they'll try and work on. And if you're Moorhead right now, you're thinking, let's just try to play an even second half, or maybe even win the second half if we could. And we'll see how that develops as we go into half number 2. Wayzata possession here to begin the half. Whip down low, and Johnson was bumped. A foul call there going against Galbranson, who tried to recover quickly there and just got a little bit too much body into Johnson, so it'll be 2 early free throws for Jenna. short on that first free throw. Well, if there's one thing Wayzata hasn't done that well tonight, it's shoot free throws. And second one spins out as well. So Johnson unable to finish that possession with points. Pass out to the wing. Sendon nearly stole it, but we're going to get a foul call, it looks like, on Sendon.
Wayzata foul number 25 for Sendon. For second.
And we will get an illegal screen away from the ball there on the Spuds.
Well, you kind of feel like you let that one go. You let that one go away from the ball.
Anderson picking it up. Dumped down low and chipped away. Johnson was going to have a layup, but Gulbrandsen got her hand on that one.
Yeah, I like what Coach Dryberg was saying is, guys, they don't need our help, right? Let's take care of the basketball. When we've done that, we've been reasonably successful. So see if we see a difference here in the second half.
Braun, a quick jumper from the baseline there off the inbound play.
And as a shooter, people don't realize how hard that is when you're running full speed to your left to catch, gather your feet, and get a quick release like that. That's a tough shot. She makes it look easy.
And a foul there as Oberg tried to go up in traffic for the Spuds. And she'll head to the free throw line.
Third personal Wayzata's number 25, Brenda Sendon.
That'll go against Sendon. So Oberg looking for her first point and gets it. That's the first bench point tonight for Moorhead as well.
Yeah, and I think if you're Moorhead, you're probably not going to win this game, but can you make it a game within a game, right? Can we limit our turnovers to under 10? Can we, maybe we outscore them? There's another foul, so again, Moorhead being a little bit more aggressive. Can we get this within 30? You look at little goals like that along the way, and that's how you can gauge how you played here, how you finished this game.
At an early glance, I'm going to say we're going to see an awful lot of free throws here in the second half. This one being called very tight, especially for a 40-point game. Second one won't go. Drive and dish. Here's Johnson gathering herself and goes up to score it off the feed there from Coach.
Well, you said it. She gathered herself. You see a lot of players would have gone in and probably got a charge. There's a nice drive for a layup. She was able to just go straight up and down, too.
Zimmerman, that's her first bucket of the night. Good box out that time by Gulbrandsen.
Remember, she picked up those 2 fouls and sat a long time there in the first half. They need her to be aggressive, like that last play.
Jacobson, a pull-up jumper, is short on the rim. Hornshell getting it out.
Nice pass again.
Reverse layup for Jenna Johnson, making it look easy tonight.
Well, the thing is, when Wayzata swings the ball on the perimeter like that, Jenna does such a nice job of sealing and maintaining that great position. So when she catches, all she has to do is go up and score.
Braun leading the break, kicks it out. Sendon an air ball on a 3 attempt, and Zimmerman coming back the other way. Zimmerman gets all the way to the hoop and scores it.
Nice spin, good body control, footwork too.
Here's Johnson catching it in the lane. She'll turn and face and hit another.
Yeah, she's really developed that nice touch too. Really worked on her shot. At 6'2", if she can hit that 10 to 15 footer consistently, even out to the 3-point line, she really has a complete all-around offensive game.
Here's Zimmerman on the drive, no good.
Well, good move, good drive. Jenna able to contest that. I think that altered the trajectory of that shot.
Johnson to the hole and gets another layup. She already has 4 buckets here in the second half after a mere 8 field goals in the first half.
And efficient too, and I love how she split the 2 defenders by bringing that ball up over the top.
Fornshell nearly had a steal. Here's a look at Zimmerman driving for this hoop as she came up with this one, and she's gonna put it on the court and go all the way for the spin, and that's coming after reaching a milestone earlier this week as she got to 1,000 career points.
And you can see why. She's got a complete game. Limited a little in the first half, but she's starting to show it there and able to get to the basket. Can use either hand, go right or left too.
Senden pulling up, looks over to Fornshell on the right side, and that is good for 3. Fornshell's second bucket of the night, first 3-pointer, 71-24 Trojans. I was thinking we'll probably see, 5-6 minutes of the top, starters for Wayzata, and then probably chance to get them out.
Yeah, in transition, nice job by Fornshell, kind of trailing, and the shot is really the preparation, getting ready to shoot. You can see she got her feet, got her hips squared up. All she had to do was catch and fire and able to knock it down.
Yeah, and I think you made good points. And there's Braun with yet another steal for the Trojans. Flipping it across, and Senden had it slip out of her fingers. But you made a good point about Wayzata. I mean, you can just tell that they're very disciplined and coach well, too, when they're always looking to move the ball. They're always in position. They're catching with both feet squared up, ready to, in triple threat position. And those are, I mean, obviously they're just talented enough they would win this game even if they weren't doing those little things, but you can just see that that's how they play every night.
Yep. And catching in the triple threat sounds so elementary, but so few kids do it. They waste their dribble, and it might not matter in this game, but when you're playing Hopkins and Minnetonka, when they're pressuring you, you got to have that triple threat. And so impressed with this, her touch. You feel like she could probably create a basket every time down the floor, and tonight choosing to be really unselfish as well, but her jump shot looks phenomenal. And I know, too, she's been working with Coach Brian Schnettler on the boys' side, working on her jump shot and extending her range, and you can certainly tell.
Baseline jumper there is short. Spuds win the rebound battle that time, though. And kick it back out for a 3, and that is good. It's buried there by Kenzie Donner. And then we'll get a timeout here.
Oh, nice inside out. There's that mid-range game. It's not lost. You see Paige Becker is having a lot of success with that mid-range, and offensively there for the Spuds. Kicking it inside, defense collapse, you kick it out, teammate wide open, knocks it down. But yeah, that mid-range game, you just don't see a lot of it anymore in girls or boys basketball, and a lot of times that's what's available. So many people force threes or they try to get all the way to the rim, and that mid-range is always a great spot if you can get there and knock it down.
So look at what we have coming up is the winter season just about coming to a close for the regular season. Got some good hockey and basketball action coming up for you in the next week as Maple Grove Park Center girls next week, and then followed up on Thursday by a really good boys game. Top-ranked Champlain Park will have their hands full with Park Center. It was overtime the first time those teams played.
Yeah, I mean, we're so lucky we get to cover so much talent in this area, especially with girls and boys basketball. But boys basketball this year, I know Champlain Park undefeated, #1 in the state, but you kind of feel like it's anyone's year this year. You don't feel like they're untouchable. You got to bring it every game, especially this year with limited practices, limited preparation.
Dumped inside,
nice
Miranda
look.
Travis in there now, number 55 for Wayzata. On the drive, just wouldn't fall there for Wildermuth, and it'll be free throws upcoming.
Oh, nice offense again. Drive, kick, making the extra pass, getting the offensive rebound. Wildermuth go to the line here for 2. And you talked about their height, 5'11" again, coming off the bench. They just keep bringing in long, athletic girls on the bench for Wayzata.
Second free throw good. So 74-27 as Perry comes back into the Moorhead lineup.
Perry back in for Moorhead.
Gronwald taking that hand off, looking for the baseline cutter, but the shot just wouldn't fall, and rebound by Travis.
A little dribble action there with the back door. Had the opening there, just couldn't quite get the layup to fall.
Back up top for Braun, that shot won't drop. And Perry the rebound for Moorhead. And there's, guess who, Braun with the steal. Braun's gonna pull up, little step back jumper is good. She has 19 tonight.
Yeah, nice little action there, mid-range, and I love that short-term amnesia, right? You just missed a shot, it doesn't matter. If you got another good look, you knock it in, and she knocks it down. Nice pass.
Drive there and kick back out, and around the horn it quickly comes. Weber's shot won't fall.
Oh, nice look.
And layup just crawls off. And now Braun pushing it back the other direction. She was fouled.
Yeah, that, again, hard to do, going full speed like that, stop on a dime at that mid-range. And in Moorhead on offense, great throw ahead there. They got the look that they wanted. That was offensive rebound. Look at pushing as hard as you can, then stopping on that dime, getting contact.
Number 32 for Wayzata.
One more for Braun, and free throw is good, and she will check out probably for the night here, you'd think.
Whoa. I don't know how that stayed Moorhead's ball. The ball just went right off of Zimmerman there. Oh, nice drive. Nice drive.
Up
Great
and
shot
off the
fake.
glass
Yeah.
there for Gronwald.
You know, those are the things Coach Schumacher is going to be upset about. No help defense, right? Yes, we're up by almost 50 here, but we got to have help defense. It's the other thing. These games too, you can get some bad habits, right? You relax a little bit. You maybe don't do the little things because you know the game's in hand.
Travis open
nice
underneath, look down low, and let's see. This one is going to be out actually off of the Wayzata foot there of Laura Hyde.
Oh, great hustle by Zimmerman there to bat it off of the Wayzata player. And that's what you love. You see great effort. Look at Zimmerman here. Great hustle. I don't think enough can be said too, Jay, about Moorhead's willingness to travel and drive up here to play against some of the best teams in the state. You know, maybe knowing they might be a little bit outmatched, but still coming up here having a great attitude. And Coach Dryberg, you know, and you're talking with him and me at halftime, could be a better guy. And yeah, you know, hats off to them for competing and coming up here and challenging themselves. She's got a nice looking shot.
For the Trojans, calling the Trojans as well. And number 33 is American.
Zimmerman makes a pair, so she's had 6 points in the second half, 8 total now for the Spuds.
She's kind of that one scorer for them, averaging in double figures, so good to see her getting on the board.
Kick back over to the baseline, and the lefty Hyde knocks it down.
Great offense, new players, some bench players getting in, but again, great ball movement, making that extra pass. Hyde, beautiful looking jump shot.
Anderson handing it off. The lane opens up. Zimmerman then a little floater.
She's got that nice kind of smoothness to her game, right? Not trying to force it, but being a little bit more aggressive.
Jumped over on the weak side there to Molly McKenzie. McKenzie back with it here, trying to go inside, and that one's going to be a foul call on Anderson.
Fourth personal on 54, Rosie Anderson. Bryn Jacobson gets back in.
So inbound play for the Trojans on the baseline here as Annika Merrick.
Oh, nice pass.
Almost dropped, but then still finishing. It was Ava Goodnature as she just about had it slip through her hands, but stayed with it.
Yeah, good concentration, but a great pass, too.
And this will be Anderson going to the free throw line as she was fouled inside. We are into running time, by the way, now.
Wayzata foul number 32. That's her first.
Moorhead, for the most part, has knocked their free throws down, too, tonight. A couple misses there in the first half, but for the most part, collectively shooting very well from the free throw line.
Missed the free throw, but then Perry, trying to keep it alive, ends up knocking it out of play. Ava Goodnature with it on the baseline. And drag that pivot foot a little bit as she tried to come to a stop at the top of the key.
And what I love, too, with the Spuds, you're seeing their bench. They're up clapping and cheering for everyone and getting a turnover. They're excited. That's what you love to see as a coach. That's about building the program. You're not going to win this game, but you get kids that are excited and good teammates, good people, and that's something you can always build on. And I think Coach Dryberg has done a nice job of creating that atmosphere.
Spins in and out there for Perry, and Trojans looking to come back. Travis will stop and fire. Bounces around a couple times, but wouldn't go, and Anderson the rebound. And we'll get a foul, kind of riding the dribbler a little bit there was Weber.
Wayzata foul number 42, Grace Weber. Her second.
Pace of the fouls has slowed down here for sure. As I said early in the half, it seemed like we might have a real early bonus, but
Nice move.
yeah, nice little pull-up jumper by Jacobson.
Only a ninth grader. You can see she's got a little hip hop in that game. Some great stop and goes, good ball handling, and able to knock down the mid-range. Nice
Ava
drive.
Goodnature, nice finish off the glass.
Yeah, kind of a tough angle. She was a little bit more on the baseline, but still able to get it off the backboard and fall. Good balance tonight by Wayzata. Everyone's got a couple of baskets, seems like.
And there's Perry knocking down her second three of the night, has 8 points total.
Oh, she's been a spark for them offensively. Nice touch.
Merrick getting an open look and buries it. Merrick is a captain on this team and able to hit a three there.
Again, beautiful offense down low to Travis. She swings it, kicks it, and Merrick knocks it down.
Little back cut there, but defender Weber recovering to get a piece.
Yeah, again, just good offense. Look at how deep that was, too. That was a good 5-6 feet. Good arc on it, knocks it down. The bench loved it.
And that's the thing you find out in a school this large and in a program this big. There's some pretty decent players who maybe don't normally get to play much on the varsity level here for Wayzata.
That would be good players, right? And maybe 70% of the schools in Minnesota. You're absolutely right.
And a takeaway and layup. Ava Goodnature has come in and gotten 3 buckets for them in the second half. And time might be a factor, but they could close in on 100 here.
Free Big Macs for everyone involved. I think you're buying, right? Is that the rumor? Remember when you used to go to the Timberwolves games? If they won and scored 100 points, you get something free. And I remember going to one of those games, and then someone missed a free throw with like 10 seconds left, and it was the collective groan of the audience not getting whatever the free item was.
More changes here as Wayzata will get another group in for a couple minutes here anyway.
And these games are fun for that just reason, right? You can get everyone a chance to get some fun minutes. Play again, this year obviously a little different, but play in front of a bigger crowd. And I think, Jay, you talked about it. You can tell they're well coached because even the girls that aren't playing a lot, they play the same way, right? They all look with their heads up. They're all making the extra pass, playing the right way, and that's a sign of a good program when everyone's kind of doing the same thing.
And topping the baseline 3 there, Siri Prosser turned and looked with confidence and buried that one.
Like it was nothing, too. She nailed it. How many threes do you think that is for Wayzata tonight? I mean, they've really shot the ball well from beginning to end. They haven't needed the three-point shot, but they made a bunch in the beginning and still shooting it well. Even kids coming in on the bench getting a chance, knocking them down.
Runner wouldn't fall that time as a baseline drive and then kick back out. Prosser had it again, but this time we'll keep it moving.
Oh, nice move.
And on the move, the layup good, or floater in the lane.
Molly McKenzie. Another 5'10". They get these 5'10" and above. Athletic length. They're everywhere.
And we're going to get a hand check call there going against Lauren Lake for Wayzata.
Number 32 checks in.
So unfortunately, that foul probably going to cost him a chance at 100 because obviously the clock's still running while these free throws are coming.
Jay, you're under. We could get a couple of threes here in a minute and 15.
Yeah, not out of the question. Jacobson hitting.
Well, it's a tough spot to be in as a coach when you're up big because you want to have great sportsmanship, right? You don't want to pour it on, but you also don't want to get bad habits. And so it's kind of that tricky balance of, how do I stay on my team, make sure they're engaged and playing hard. And then when you get, some players that don't get a lot of opportunity, you want to tell them to just hold it, right? You want them to try to score, but always being respectful and mindful of being a good sport too.
Yeah, we've talked about that some over the years too. A nice move on the drive that time for the Trojans by Carolyn Bolkovitz.
I think everyone's scoring. Everyone that's getting in the game, they're getting a shot, they're making it.
Yeah, I was starting to say, you talk about sportsmanship and all that. It's almost more embarrassing if you're the team way behind if the other team doesn't try to keep playing. Nice rebound and follow-up there by Kate Adams. 98 points now for the Trojans.
And I think we've had, if I counted correctly, 14 players for Wayzata score tonight. You talk about great balance. You talk about getting an opportunity and making the most of it. What a fun game if you're a Wayzata Trojan fan.
So they kind of jumped on Moorhead from the start, and Wayzata will coast to a 98-43 victory as they get the 9th win of the season. This one a little bit different. So they pick up this 9th victory of the shortened season here. and just about got to 100. And as Ryan said, my scorebook is overflowing. There isn't room for all the players that came in and scored for the Trojans, as they had a superb showing here this evening and able to get the victory after a really hard-fought win, 5-point win over Cooper on Thursday night. They pick up that W. So we'll take a quick time out here and hear from the Trojans in just a moment. Wayzata winning it tonight 98-43. Wayzata rolling here tonight past Moorhead. Let's go over now to Ryan with one of the happy Trojans.
Well, I'm here with Jenna Johnson. Jenna, 24 points tonight. Right from the get-go, you kind of established that this was going to be your game and your team's game. How did you feel tonight during the game?
Pretty good. We've been talking a lot about building momentum going into the postseason. So I think today was good. We just played our game, played good defense, and I think that'll translate over to when we have some more competitive games in the future.
So I know last year coming off of the knee injury, obviously, do you feel like you're all the way back? Do you trust it? Do you feel like you're 100% now?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, when I'm out there, I don't think about it at all, so that's all I can ask for.
That's good. Now, you guys record-wise 9-6 now. Do you feel like you're starting to peak as you head into the postseason or the latter end here of the season?
Yeah, we've had some tough games recently, just losing by a few points, and I think we're learning from those a lot. So yeah, hopefully we'll be peaking right as we go into the postseason, and I think we're building momentum right now. So
a team like Moorhead, you guys jump off to a huge start. Big lead. Is that harder as a player to play games like that as opposed to maybe a competitive, close game? Or do you like once in a while having a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, I like to compete, so, I like the games where it's really like back and forth right down to the wire, but it was nice today just being able to get off the court a little bit early, and I think even down the stretch we did do a good job of just sticking to what we do and not getting too carried away with the scoreboard.
Okay, so you seem to have really added a little touch and a little extra range on your jump shot. Is that something you've been working on?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, in rehab and stuff, I couldn't do a ton of stuff cutting and moving, so I worked a lot on my jump shot.
All right, if you play Mara one-on-one, best of 5, who wins?
You. Yeah, I'd back her down. But she does have a nice step back, so I'll give her that.
All right, well, congrats on a big win. Get those stinky socks off, and congratulations on a great game.
Thanks.
All right, back to you, Jay.
Thanks, Ryan, and thanks, Jenna Johnson. So Trojans get the victory here tonight. They've got 3 regular season games left as they're at Benilde on Monday, and then home games against Buffalo and Hill Murray. Thanks for joining us for tonight's game as the Trojans roll over Moorhead 98-43. For Ryan Iverson and all of our CCX crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from Wayzata High School.